You can do it during the council member time if you'd like.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Did they just cancel theirs for tomorrow night? They postponed it until August 12th. I guess Stephen Towers on the doctor's order. The rest was flipped.
Oh, is that? I thought it was because it was stolen. I saw that.
No, we had a show on Saturday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Iron Maiden was Saturday.
Many people showed up there?
Yeah, there's 13,000.
You
Yeah, Cal was there.
Yes, she was.
She was napping on the lawn for a little bit of it, though.
Yes, I was. You try dealing with a 14-year-old for 48 hours. You'd be napping too.
Do they have any new stuff out, or is it just all their old stuff?
No, they did a whole Made in England revival of all their old stuff. Alice Cooper opened, which was awesome. That was my first concert when I was 10.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty.
Jen, we ready? All right, we call meeting to order. We first has a roll call.
Aiken.
Here.
Fair.
Here.
Harness.
Here.
Scarborough.
Here.
Leek.
Here.
Kenworthy.
Here.
Tobias.
Yep.
And can we all rise and we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wow, we want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. This is a great showing of support for our community to have you all come out. First item on the agenda is citizens' time, so if we can come up and address the council. Any topic that you like, we ask for you just to state your name and address for the record. So we'll open that up for anyone.
I get to go first, huh?
There you go, sir.
Hi, Matthew Gallagher, 6930 Jockey Club Lane in Haymarket, Virginia. First of all, congratulations, Mayor Leake. I guess I'm the first person to speak at one of your council meetings with you at the helm. So congratulations to everybody in the new administration. I'm here tonight representing Boy Scout Troop 1882. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but we are a new Boy Scout troop that was founded in the town of Haymarket. And in fact, we are, I guess, technically the only Boy Scout troop within the town. And we've kind of been getting our feet wet and starting to get going, and we're starting to get a lot more mature. We've been meeting fairly informally here at the at Town Hall, using this as our meeting facility, which we're appreciative of. One of the things that's happened recently, and it's been great working with Sherry and Jennifer. However, we've had an incident come up recently where, to nobody's fault really, but we've kind of lost a lot of our meeting time because of other commitments and the way that things have been scheduled here. What I'm looking for is, I understand that those things happen, I understand that scheduling conflicts come up, but in kind of thinking about it and recognizing that we are the local Boy Scout troop here, considering that we are starting to get a lot more involved in community activities. I know that we're doing a service project, having our boys do a service project for the town tomorrow evening, laying some flags around town. I thought one of the things we might be do is just kind of talk to you guys and see if there was a way that we could more permanently and I guess maybe formally establish our relationship so that we could, there's very few meeting places in the area to accommodate kids. Something that we could have a little bit more permanent so we weren't on kind of every few months having to kind of re-up and us all kind of having to remember who had the meeting room on one night. Something that would make it a little bit more permanent for us, that we would be able to use the town hall facilities. So that's what I wanted to kind of mention and put it to the council to try to solicit your support and for a more permanent relationship with us.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Moving along. We're going to go to item 3, capital improvement projects, and I'll ask Mr. Swearingen to bring us up to date on that.
If you recall, some of the new members probably don't recall, we had some money available to us at the end of the last budget year, and the council decided to go ahead and put a list of about 11 or 12 items that they'd like to see us get done before the year ended. A couple of the items came off the list because we just, either they didn't really make sense, such as some furniture for the museum. We just weren't ready to do that because of some other changes that are going on, and some water and sewer work up at the police station. It just looked like it was going to be a whole lot more than we were going to be able to spend. So we ended up with these projects here that total $97,627. The direction of the council was to get them done and get them paid for before the end of the year, which we have done. The only thing I believe that we're not quite done with is we're going to go to a new accounting system starting this year. We found something that really meets our needs. The price was very competitive, so we've gone ahead and started some of the training where the price was very low. We went ahead and paid for it with last year's money, and we'll be working over the next 2 to 3 months to get that system up and running. I believe everything else has been done. We're working still on the website, but that's also just about ready to go. And we did get wreaths actually came in today, or our Christmas wreaths are here. So we've completed that work. So I believe I can report that $97,627 has been spent, and those projects are all either completed or underway and near completion.
Okay. Thank you.
I just have one question with the damage from the storm from all the flags. Are those being replaced? And is that part of the excess?
Insurance.
Or is that going to be an insurance claim?
Excess.
Insurance claim.
We've made an insurance claim. We're trying to get the additional poles in and pick them up tomorrow. I'm not sure if everything is going to happen in time. If not, we'll just put what we can back up. But it looks like we may be able to make, with some help, it looks like we'll be able to get them back up.
Fantastic.
We did have a surplus, I think, Jen, it's X amount of flags that we have extra
20,
20.
and we have pulled those, and that's what we have right now.
And I do have one in my trunk that I'd picked up that had completely fallen.
Any other questions?
It hits the ground when it burns. I believe it.
I had on my agenda item B. I don't know if anybody else had item B or C.
No.
It's actually listed on the website. So, master plan and communications policy.
He's added to that.
Okay, great.
He's got the meetings.
Okay. So, yes, for the master plan, we have
It was added today after the agenda was published.
As an information item only.
we don't have that. That's it.
7 packets, I
I've got my copies. Were they all insulated?
That's okay.
The council also asked, I think it was back in April, March or April, that we, instead of piecemealing work on this property, we were looking, at that time, we were looking at parking issues, we were looking at facade for the building. Of course, we were looking at the 2 renovation jobs. It just seemed to make sense to stop before we spent any more money, because we knew that by itself the stormwater problems here is going to be very expensive. So the idea was to step back, have the staff get quotes from development and planning firms to help us do a master plan for this project. We received 5 really excellent proposals, and what I'm asking tonight is that you just receive them, and we'd like to talk to you in more detail about them and hopefully make a decision at the August meeting.
Okay.
And if we need to do anything else between now and then, as far as maybe getting additional information from any of the firms, just let me know, and we'll be working with them as we need to.
Great. Thank you, Gene. Any questions for Gene? All right. Let's go on to the appropriations. The HVAC repair replacement.
Well, as you can tell, the air conditioner in here isn't working that well.
Very comfortable.
What we found was that it is very old. It was installed, I think, 30 years ago, and it's held up well, but it's just about on its last legs. I got 3 quotes to replace this unit, both the interior unit, which is in this closet here, and then the exterior unit, which is in the back area outside. I asked Council Member Kenworthy to help me go through the quotes that we received. We have a quote from BMS. It isn't the lowest bid, but we felt like it was the most competitive in terms of the quality of the equipment. They'll be using Trane equipment. They have installed for us upstairs, and that installation was flawless, and the system has worked well. They were about just a little over $1,000 higher. They came in at I believe $7,200, and the other one was around. The next low bid was $6,500. There wasn't a third bid lower, but we were a little concerned about that particular one. So my recommendation, and I think Mr. Kenworthy agrees, is that we go with BMS, but I will go back to them and see if I can negotiate the price down some, since they were not actually the low bidder, and see if we can't get it to a price that's a little bit closer to what we originally thought the budget should be. I will say there were some questions about sizing the system and making sure we were doing the right thing. I know a couple of folks asked me if we should, this unit that we're getting is a 5-ton unit. We had some questions about maybe we should increase the tonnage and make sure it's really going to work well for this space. And the answer I got back from 2 of the 3 bidders was that going to a 5-ton, something bigger than a 5-ton unit would require additional work on the ducts, and some of the infrastructure is going to take quite a bit more money. The 5 tons is the accurate sizing for the square footage that it's supposed to cool in this area and the offices. So I'm comfortable that the 13-seater 5-ton system is the one to go with, and I'm requesting that you go ahead and give us authority to go with the high bidder, which was $8,400. And I will, in fact, try to get them down from that number. So.
I thought you said 72.
I'm sorry, $7,400. I'm sorry.
Okay, do I have a motion that we can approve this expenditure?
I'd like to make a motion that we do approve that for the PVB, for the total of $7,400, and Gene continue to work with them to see if we can get a lower.
I'll second that, but I have a question.
Got a motion that's been seconded, open for discussion.
What's the difference in the prices? Is it the type of equipment, or is it labor, or
It is,
both?
I think it's the type of equipment.
Okay.
I mean, Trane really is top of the
Train,
line.
yeah, train is really good.
The others are proposing something other than that, and I think that was the big difference in the two.
Okay.
Yeah, one was a Carrier, and the other was,
The third one is a Rudd.
was it Rudd? I thought it was something else.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's replaced the Rudd with a Linux. So,
Yeah, there you go. That's what it
Okay.
was.
Any other questions for discussion?
Okay.
Mr. Weiss?
Gene, since the bid amount, the package didn't include the bid amounts or the proposals, can you tell us real quick what the other 2 bid amounts were?
Sure. The BMS was $8,400 with a discount of $1,000 for a total of $7,400. LH Mechanical was $4,850. They were proposing a carrier system. And Woody's was $65.61. They were proposing the Linux system.
And any other questions? Seeing none, roll call vote?
Aiken?
I'm new at this. What do I?
Mr. Mayor,
Yay or
Yes,
nay?
no, yes.
prior to the vote, we need to know where the money's coming from.
Yeah, Mr. Kenworthy, I guess we'll pull it out of repairs, I would assume. Where's my finance guy?
I would assume that's where we have to go.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't done any appropriations yet.
Yeah, I think once we have appropriations, I would
Sure.
recommend that we take
It'll all
it
flow.
from town center property.
Okay, there you go. Very good, roll call, please.
Aiken?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Harness?
Yes.
Kenworthy? Scarborough?
Yes.
Tobias?
Yep.
All right, motion passes. So, and was there another recommendation for another unit?
There is. I'm just going to have to ask the council's indulgence on this. There's an upstairs unit in the daytime playtime building that also is having some problems. That system is only 8 years old, and I had the Arctic Sun folks who do some of the work for us and a lot of the other units in this building look at it, and he said that because of the age, he would recommend that we just replace the condenser, and he gave me a quote of, I believe, $2,500. And then I had another bidder look at it, and his concern was a similar situation, except that that unit is using an old version of the coolant,
R22.
R22, which is very, very expensive now. So his suggestion was to change out the system so that it would accept the, I think it's called 410A, which is the new coolant, which is much cheaper. Again, I asked Mr. Kenworthy to help me here, and I'm still kind of looking at this. So I think we have a little bit of time because the kids are out of school now. So what I'll just plan to come back with the final in August because I think we've got some time on this one, and I'm just a little uncomfortable with the two bids that I have.
Okay. All right. And let's go to the next item, which would be the old post office.
Okay. As you can see, since we last met, we're getting ready to put in the addition. There's
Go ahead.
a foundation has been laid, and I've gotten bids on. I've got additional bids on the foundation. I mean on the addition, and also on the plumbing and heating, because I thought the numbers were a little high. But if I could just pass this around. The situation with the old post office building, which is the one out front. The original amount budgeted for that building was $200,000. We've billed and paid to date through the end of the last fiscal year, $78,482. Amount remaining $121,518. My request tonight is when you start to look at your appropriations that you go ahead and continue the work on these two houses by appropriating the balance, the $121,518. The other house is the Holefish House, which is the one in the back. The original budget for that one was $150,000. So far, we've spent $111. Amount remaining is $38,474, and the requested appropriation is $38,474. I would like to say on this one, we've gone back and forth with it. Meet with the contractor almost daily on this, and we're looking at ways to cut the budget. I believe that we can make it under the budget, but it's going to be very close. We've got this house, of course, there were actually two houses there, and I think maybe the number was one that I'm not sure exactly how we came up with the number, but at any rate, trying to stay under that 150 is going to be a real battle, but I feel like we're going to come close. We're going to be close to that.
But between the two, obviously, we'll be under budget for the total
Yeah,
amount.
and all right, we have to go back to the old post office.
Sure.
Am I asking for an appropriation? Since we haven't made the appropriation, I'm requesting at the time that you do, that you appropriate the remainder of the money, the $121,518, from the original $200 that was appropriated for this project.
And can I get a motion for that?
But if it's okay with everybody else, let's wait until we get to the budget appropriations for everything else, because we don't have any money in any particular category for that yet. Much like my note to you says, we need to revisit the last motion we made and take the money from another location, because we don't have the funds in that budget line item to
But
support.
if we
that
appropriate the
expense.
monies tonight, it'll be there.
Actually, no, if you're familiar with our budget that we adopted, those funds will not be there
For the
for the air conditioning unit.
town center property line item.
$5,000.
That's based on the quarter or for a year?
It's the entire budget that was adopted and passed by the previous council. Therefore,
So we
again, we
need
need to
to-
revisit where the money's coming from. It'll be my suggestion that we take the money for anything we're doing right now out of the streetscape expenditures line item and repay it once we do the budget amendments for the carryover after the audit's completed at the end of July.
Well, there we go. We can take it from there. So, generate,
So if it pleases the council and it pleases Mr. Kenworthy and Mrs. Scarborough, if they would consider amending, if the council would consider amending the motion to allocate the money or pull the money from the streetscape expenditures line item with the understanding that that money will be paid back after the audit is completed and we have our proper carryover from fiscal year 2012.
That's your motion?
No, it's your motion that I'm asking you to correct.
Mr. Kenworthy, you accept that correction?
I do accept it.
I think, was it Mary Lou?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fine.
Great. Yes, for the correction, was anybody, is this going to be unanimous consent? There's no
Probably.
objection? Okay, great. So there, we'll take that amendment.
Shall we vote on it?
We already voted, and there's no objection that,
Well, he's changed his motion, we have to actually vote on it.
that unanimous consent. Lisa, you want to, there's no,
If you did roll call, let's probably just do roll call again.
Thank you.
To keep it consistent.
but, Jim?
Baker?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Harness?
Yes.
Scarborough?
Yes.
Emerson? And Mayor.
Weird.
Bob, you want to vote? Yes.
Okay. And now I think we were at the appropriations for these two. The resolution for that.
Actually, I think I have to do the old post office now. I'm sorry, the whole fish house.
Go ahead.
Similar situation.
Look at budget appropriations first and come back to all of this.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like
That's,
if that's going to cause a legal issue, Lisa.
I would do the budget
Okay.
appropriations first.
All right.
So I'll move to 4E.
So we'll move to...
Let's just come back to that, because I can calculate those days. Dave, let's just come back to that, and I gotta calculate those first.
Okay. Legal services?
well, that too is an
Yeah.
appropriation, so if we could
Yeah.
just
Skip
go
to
ahead and do
5.
that.
We'll go to
Please report.
police report.
You're up.
Questions, comments, or concerns? Anybody? Yes, sir.
Okay, Murphy.
It seems the main numbers don't jive on your gas.
Is what on my gas?
I mean, if you go with percentages of the previous months, the mileage has increased up to where it was in March, but yet your gas went down a bunch, 120. I thought that should have been maybe equal, close to it.
I'll look into that for you, just to get with you. I don't know why it's down that low.
Any other questions for Chief? Mr. Aiken?
I was just curious, what's the difference between a report and a complaint? Just for my own
It's
information.
just a written report that goes into the computer. Then a complaint is just something like a suspicious person that cheats. We go by and check on them and leave without a report.
Okay.
What happened with the train in the storm on Friday night? It like screeched to a stop right after that storm.
Oh, I
No?
know. No, I was.
We thought maybe there was a tree on the
A tree hit
or
that train.
Did it?
A tree hit that
A
train.
tree hit the train? Okay, thank you.
The train
It was
ripped that
at
tree out by the
5:30 the
roots.
next morning, yeah.
Somewhat jackknifed, did not derail.
There you go. Now we know.
Any other questions for the
Train
Chief?
girl.
Thank you, sir,
I'll
for
never
your
get
time.
on.
James, treasurer's report.
Evening. If the council doesn't mind, is your microphones on?
Yes.
Just,
Yours now?
Maybe if we get closer to them.
can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now?
No.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. We're in betwixt right now. These numbers are not final for June 30th. They were done as of June 22nd. We received the engagement letter from the auditors, and I'm just waiting on when they'll give us their schedule for the prep work and then to begin the audit. I have supplemental information I'm working on with the probable end of the year numbers and amounts that will be under budget, and the preliminary budget transfers that will be necessary. I should have that fairly on target for the August meeting. We're going to go north to south and realign our approved budget so that it balances with our actual. There's only one new topic I'd like to bring up for August, and it has to do with the current town policy for appropriations. It's just some data that I've compiled on a basis on why it could be modified, and it could be agenda item for the council next month, but just background information. We've had this policy in effect for 2 years, and I just think, in my opinion, it just needs to be tweaked just a little bit. If it's okay, I'll just pass this out, and it's just for consideration by the council, and if it needs to be on agenda item for next month, then go ahead.
And just so everybody can understand that, James, could you kind of highlight on that, what we're currently doing, and
Well, good. Well, some residents don't have, there wasn't enough, all the data for the agenda. What I'm trying to address is we allocate full salaries, full museum, full council, and then I think 25% for other line items and categories except for capital improvement. That's on a non-needed basis. What happens is, by my research, we go into authoritative opinions. I'm trying to get an alignment between a measurable standard of a budget, which is just a spending plan, and actual numbers. And we've done something that has too much common sense in it, where we took 25% with those other variances, 100% for salaries and museum. And so when you look at a year-to-date number, you may see where we're really under budget. But if we could go, my modification is centered around, we constructed the budget based on actual numbers and then some variances, whether or not we're going to continue the program or a COLA increase or cost of living increase. And what would make more sense to me is if you looked at our actuals and the budget that's being, first you appropriate the whole budget and then we allocate a monthly amount and a year-to-date amount. And since we work with anti-deficiency law, it's real important to know the remaining budget, so that if there is a variance unfavorable, or especially if it's unfavorable, we can understand what we need to do now to make the budget. And I have some other copies, but it's just a little tweaking thing.
understood. Okay. Any questions? Dennis?
If you don't mind, I missed, if they appropriated the money,
Yeah.
I missed that. No, for the air conditioning?
They're going to revisit.
We're going to revisit.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear
Well,
it.
the air conditioning was
Yeah,
appropriated.
yeah.
The air conditioning was appropriated
And the amount?
in 7,400 in advance of the full appropriations needed
Okay,
prior
now
to
that-
that.
And there was
just a-
one other topic.
Hang on, stay on that topic real quick, James.
Okay.
Just to tag on to that, Gene and I had a meeting prior to the council meeting about quarterly versus annual allocations and appropriations, and he and I are going to revisit that this week. Tonight, it's my recommendation that we stick with the policy that we have adopted and that's in place, and council can take Gene and James and mine recommendation for consideration in August.
Yeah, I think that's what James had mentioned too.
Just a little tweaking.
Okay.
And there's something else I'll need to report to the council in August is an alignment with our, the prior year surplus, taking the money. We began this fiscal year with $317,000 in our general account, and I need to make a reconciliation of moving, it looks like more than, it's almost 300,000 from that account and put it into surplus, and there's some intra-account activity between the streetscape money and what we've expended. So it's going to be really exciting in August. I look forward to it.
All right, well, that's good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, James. Appreciate it. Mr. Lowry?
Do you have any questions beyond the summary report, or?
Everybody had a chance to review that? Any questions for Mr. Lowry?
Have none?
Great. Thank
It's
you.
made easy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Pretty straightforward.
Okay, moving along. Town manager's report.
I've asked the town engineer to bring up today on the I-66 project.
Sure. Holly?
These projects are a little quiet and a little bit of a lull. Just to let you know, the ARB did approve the light posts, globes, and colors that VDOT put in the RFP. I told you last meeting that I was going to go ahead and take that to the ARB to get their approval, and they did approve it. So the contract will have a choice of 3 different types of posts that are very similar to what we have out front. Also, just to let you know, one of the actually 2 of the property owners that could not come to the meeting that we had at Town Hall with VDOT and the business owners for the I-66 Route 15 interchange project, interchange layout, the entrance layout. When the Sportsplex requested a meeting at VDOT, and we went, and also the Rose property representative showed up. And they actually weren't that upset with the layout that VDOT was proposing. Mr. Rose does have the concerns of what does he get to do with his parcel in the meantime, because he has to disclose to anybody that wants to develop it that VDOT might come in and take it 2 or 3 years down the road. But that is partly what the situation is. VDOT's trying to be open about what's happening. If he can figure out an interim use, I said come in and talk to us and see if we, the town can work with you as well if you're trying to do an interim use. Also regarding the Sportsplex, there was some issues with his site plan. That is another day. That's not really the interchange project itself. And other than that, everything's kind of quiet, just plugging along. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are requesting that one additional item regarding the streetscape project be held for a closed session. Update on the trash removal contract. At the June meeting, the council approved the selection of AAA trash removal service, and suggested or asked the town manager and the town attorney to negotiate the contract with them. We gave them our terms, which they generally agreed to, but a big company, and they had to have their attorneys look at the agreement. So it looked like it was not going to get done by the end of the month, so they offered us a 1-month agreement at the agreed-to rate, $13.25 per unit. I had the town attorney review the short-term contract. She agreed that it was okay to go ahead with that. So they have agreed to the general terms. As you recall, we talked last month about moving to a 5-year instead of a 3-year contract. And by going to 5 years, they were willing to hold the $13.25 for 2 years. There will be a 5% increase at that point that will also be held for 2 years, and then another 5% for the final year of the contract. So overall, we will save quite a bit over what we were currently paying. I will say that we've had some issues, some kind of pains getting the systems moved from one carrier to the next, and that wasn't made any easier by the storms over the weekend. But I will say that AAA has really gone out of their way to try to be helpful here, and they have picked up a lot of trash, a lot of tree limbs. They've been in and out of town all day delivering the trash receptacles. So we did have some problems, and I expect that we will continue to have problems for a little while. But I think overall, they have proven to be very willing to work with us and try to bend over backwards to help us with this transition.
Okay. Any questions for Council Weiss?
Sure.
The email that we got from a resident concerning the recycling options or the types of plastic that would be taken by I saw the email that you sent back out. Is everything else in that email been, have we assisted that resident as much as we can in the other issues that were brought forth?
I think we have. I didn't hear back from her, but we did talk to Carrier about those issues, and I think they're okay.
Have we
I'll
tried
have
to help her
find out and
locate
make
her
sure.
tote that they took by accident?
Yeah, they're looking for it, and it turned out that, well, they're looking for it. But I'll get a report back.
She didn't respond back to your email this afternoon?
No, I didn't hear from her.
Any other questions for Gene? Nope.
On the trash or any other question?
No. For Gene, we're...
Can you update the rest of the council on where you stand in negotiations with John Bennett, or any contact or communications with John Bennett pertaining to the resolution from June 4th, 2012?
I'll address that during my time at council.
He was addressed to.
Well, you can ask him. I was going to say, I probably have the most up-to-date information.
I have no information on it, really. I haven't talked to him.
Right. Okay.
Then I'd like to make a motion.
A motion for...
I'd like to make a motion.
Go ahead, Mr. Weiss.
Whereas on June 4, 2012, the town council, I'll give you a copy of it, Jim, don't bother, because I'm going to read it kind of fast. Whereas on June 4, 2012, town council adopted a resolution to enter into contract negotiations with John Bennett for the town attorney contract position, whereas there had been no substantial communications of contract negotiations brought forth to the town manager or the council, whereas the town manager has attempted to contact John Bennett regarding entering into negotiations and is yet to be successful, whereas the town of Haymarket is in need of contracting with a full-time and permanent attorney for the position, whereas the interim town attorney has gratefully performed the duties asked of her while serving in her capacity, therefore be it resolved that council shall rescind the offer of entering into contract negotiations with John Bennett and disqualify him from serving in that capacity. Furthermore, the council shall re-examine the originally submitted RFQ responses submitted by the deadline of May 5th, 2012. Furthermore, a committee consisting of a town manager and 2 council members will review the RFQs and select up to 3 respondents for further evaluation and consultation. Furthermore, in the interim, for a period of at least 3 months, Lisa Baird shall remain in the position of interim town attorney until a permanent replacement shall be retained and contracted. That is my motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second it.
Okay, do you want to decide who seconded it?
Yes. Well, I don't know.
That doesn't matter to me.
I don't either. Just pick a name.
Go ahead, Mel.
We'll take Val Rebecca.
Just pick a name.
Okay, and any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we have a roll call vote. Go ahead.
Aiken?
I'll abstain. I'm not sure of this.
Bear?
Yes.
Harness?
Yes.
Scarborough?
No.
Kenworthy?
Yes.
Ms. Weiss?
Yes.
Okay, the motion is passed. All right, moving on to our agenda items. Number A, Haymarket Lodge.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. There are no updates to this item, and it's ready for action by the council. Happy to answer any questions.
Do I have a motion? We have a draft motion.
I move that the town council approve the subdivision plat titled Boundary Line Adjustment Plat on the land of trustees for the Haymarket Lodge number 313 of Ancient Free and Accepted Masons on parcel 1 of the land of the Haymarket Lodge Charitable Foundation, Inc., prepared by Rinker Design Associates, dated January 4th, 2012, and its associated deed of boundary line adjustment and gift deed dated 19 March 2012, subject to and conditioned upon the following: recoordination of all plats and documentation in a form of substance approved by the town attorney, and payment of all costs and fees and expenses due to the town. And I further move that the foregoing conditions 1A and 1B be done and satisfied within 45 days of this date, otherwise this approval shall be void and of no further effect.
Do I have a
I'll second.
Discussion.
Why 45 days of this date? Just curious.
Just to make sure that the application is diligently pursued.
Okay.
Part of the reason why we're here is the last time it wasn't done in an
Okay.
expedited period of time.
That's what I figured.
Any other discussion? And a roll call vote.
Aiken.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Kenworthy.
Aye.
And Tobias.
All right.
Motion passes. Okay. Next item, policy development for zoning permits.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I do not see that item in my packet. Hold on, let me catch up.
Looks like we had a recommendation from Gene.
You want me to just
Oh,
make a
policy
motion?
development, I'm sorry, yes. No updates on that report. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, with your indulgence, I'll recommend that the town council direct staff to draft policies regarding the administrative review of certain zoning activities and submit a proposal to town council at the September meeting.
Okay. No objection to that? It's a direction. So moved on that one. Okay, the next item. Town center plot plan.
Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to happy to answer any questions about the report. I do have a draft motion for your review. I'll pass it out real quick. Mr. Mayor, the draft motion that is passed out to you encompasses the properties involved with the zoning permit application in your packet, and also drafts a motion to adopt the plot plan, also attached to that application, which describes improvements on the town center property. And I've listed a series of findings for that approval, given the unusual nature of what we're doing here at the town property.
People a chance to read it for a second here.
Yeah, sorry about the late distribution.
It's okay.
Marchand.
Yes, sir.
So reading the background material, the planning commission had deferred any action, and it was not brought back to them after the further evaluation showed that the improvements would have no negative impact?
It was brought back. They did review that information. The town engineer looked at it and reported to them that would not be a negative impact. And then they adopted the plan and moved it forward. So they considered it in May, reconsidered it again in June, and then moved it forward.
Okay. We'll have a chance to read that, so have a motion in a minute.
I don't agree with this one. Move it. Council President Bear, is your planning commission?
I just read the last one. It's Kent's turn.
I did consult with the town attorney regarding the language in the motion.
Great, thank you.
I move the town council approve zoning permit ZP201-20321 for site improvements at 1500, 1520, 1510, and 1526 Washington Street and 6630 Jefferson Street. I further move that the town council adopt the plot plan entitled Plot Plan, Town of Haymarket Town Center, dated May 11, 2012, as meeting the requirement of Town Code Section 58-179A, requirements for the permitted use, based on the following findings. 1, the town center property encompassing the above-mentioned properties has been in varying forms of continued use since the effective date of the town zoning ordinance. 2, the improvements described on the plot plan will not impact existing stormwater systems. 3, adjacent residential uses are screened. 4, no additional parking facilities are required. 5, improvements to the old post office and Whole Fish House will meet the requirements of Town Code Section 58-56-2, demolition by neglect.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none? It's a roll call vote. Lynn?
Aiken.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Kenworthy.
Aye.
And Tobias.
Nope.
All right, motion passes. Zoning permits, 60 in our packet.
Mr. Mayor, no updates. It's ready for action by the council.
I move the council approve zoning permit number 201-20525 for a studio use to be located at 15125 Washington Street in accordance with section 58177 subsection 18 of the town code. And I further move the council approve zoning permit 201-20604 for studio use fitness to be located at 6611 Jefferson Street in accordance with section 58177 subsection 18 of the town code.
Motion on the floor, seconded by,
Second.
any discussion? Any discussion? Mr. Booth? It's a roll call, right, for the, none? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Check signings, I think that was completed, if I'm correct. That was all completed.
Make a motion to appoint Rebecca Fair, Milt Kenworthy, and David Leak as the authorized check signers for the town of Haymarket for a period to commence starting today to end on June 30th, 2014.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm opposed.
Oh, okay, opposed? And anybody abstain? There you go. Motion passes. And council liaison, vice mayor appointments. By statute, we have to appoint a vice mayor at this meeting. So, it's open for discussion or any motions.
I motion we
Go ahead.
elect Jay Tobias for vice mayor.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? And roll call, Lisa, or just a roll call?
Aiken?
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
Harness?
Yes.
Scarborough?
Yes.
Kenworthy?
Yes.
Tobias?
Abstain.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Make a motion to appoint Rebecca Bear as the council liaison to the planning commission for the period of this council term, ending June 30th, 2014.
Motion on the floor. We
I'll
need
second.
Second. And any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote?
Aiken?
Yes.
Fair?
Abstain.
Harness?
Yes.
Scarborough?
Yes.
Kenworthy?
Aye.
Tobias?
Yes.
Great. We have another one.
Make a motion to appoint Catherine Harnest as the liaison to the ARB for this council's term, ending June 30th, 2014.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this? Okay, roll call?
Aiken?
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
Harness?
Abstain?
Scarborough?
Yes.
Kenworthy?
Aye.
And Tobias?
Yes.
Great. Now, I understand our other appointments, we have not advertised. Is that correct, Ginger?
That's correct.
Can we get a directive to go ahead and advertise those vacancies? So that way they can be properly notified, we can have the people come in to apply for those open positions.
Hasn't there been an ongoing, previous council makes a comment about the openings on the PC and the ARB at every meeting, so hasn't there kind of been an ongoing knowledge that there were slots open from previous council's actions? I mean, every council meeting, we always talked about ARB vacancy and PC vacancies.
They had been full for a little while until the recent expiration of some terms.
Yeah, it's
So-
a new.
In June.
Have
They
you
were
al-
full until June.
Have you already received any correspondence from anyone interested in any of the vacancies
Yes.
Great. So like I said, go ahead.
Pam Swinford for ARB and Ralph for planning.
All right, so we'll direct you to advertise that through, for the other means that we do, I guess the website, and, okay, great, and then we'll have that and address that at the next council meeting. Great. All right. Next item, closed session. Well, excuse me, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion, we elect Jay Tobias as the treasurer liaison.
Okay, we weren't, I didn't see that on the thing, we didn't have our appointments there for that.
It has to do with appointment of liaisons. It's a liaison position that's been held forever. It probably was, I'm not sure why it was left off Gene's memo.
Yeah, on the agenda item, it's just listed as council liaison, so the fact it wasn't covered in the memo, we can still
I'll go
cover
ahead
it.
and take your motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion second, any discussion? Okay. Go ahead as a roll call.
Aiken.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Kenworthy.
Aye.
And Tobias.
Abstain.
Great. All right. Let's go on. I'll have Lisa bring us into closed session. I think there's a few
You want to go
items.
back to the, are you ready on the budget?
Yeah, I am.
Are you
You want to go back to this?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Back to those in the multi.
So pursuant to the policies adopted by the previous council and put into place back in 2010, it has historically been the intent of council to adopt, or to go ahead and coordinate for the budget 25% of certain categories of expenses, 100% of certain other categories of expenses, and 100% of the revenues that we expect to receive for the fiscal year. So therefore, I think the appropriation should be adopted as follows. Total income to be recognized as $3,161,445. Capital improvements due to the nature of streetscape and where it's at, et cetera, I think we should go ahead and appropriate that full expense of total capital improvements and repairs of $1,465,864. Council and boards, the full appropriation of $34,000. The events category, 1 quarter at $18.75. Museum category, 1 quarter at $17.15.71. Operating expenses totaling $77,820.80. Public safety totaling $24,448.50. Public works totaling $32,372.25. Total staff wages and benefits of $197,44.50. And total town-owned property at $86,418.50.
So motion, do I have a second?
That's second.
Any discussion?
Yes. How much did you say for town property?
86,418.
The total town property figure shows $345,674, of which a quarter should be $86,418.50.
All right, well, I'll second it, but I'm going to be able to revisit all this in August.
Yeah, I mean, we're going
And
to...
I think we should do it all quarterly, actually.
I concur, but the policy currently is...
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. I just want to have it on the record.
Yep, I
Okay.
concur.
Not a problem.
Okay, so we're back to the motion's been seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Aiken.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Kenworthy.
Yeah.
Tobias.
Yes.
All right. Now, to tidy it up, I think some of this other stuff, we need appropriation for the remaining requests for the 2 homes.
Recommendation, Mr. Mayor, for that would be whoever wants to make that appropriation request should take it from the streetscape funding line item with the intent to pay back those monies once the budget carryover surplus has been completed and evaluated by the auditing firm. But the intent would be to pay it back, just like we're going to pay back this AC repairs.
I'll make that motion.
There you go.
What are the dollar amounts?
We need the post office at $100,021, $518, and the whole fish is $38,474.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Aiken?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Scarborough?
Yes.
Henry?
Aye.
Wise?
Yep.
So back to item D, legal services.
I thought we needed to go into executive session for that one.
I think this is just the appropriation of funds for that.
Mr. Bowser. Actually, if this is the appropriations for Mr. Dively, can we talk about that after closed session?
We could come back to that, if you feel that might
I believe that-
impact on the appropriation for the...
I believe in that.
Okay. All right, Lisa, you want to bring us into closed session?
I move that the town council, the town of Haymarket, move into closed session for the following purposes under 2.23711A, and there'd be several purposes tonight. 1, discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, more specifically, a discussion and consideration for a part-time staff assistant. Under 2.233711A5, the expansion of existing business in town or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the businesses or industries' interest in expanding its facilities. And under 2.2-3711A7, consultation with legal counsel or briefing by staff members or consultants pertaining to actual probable litigation, more specifically regarding one item regarding the streetscape project and 2 items involving 2 tenant commercial leases in town.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be... We think it's probably be a while. It should, I would think, within about maybe 45 minutes to an hour or less. Maybe try to send out an update why we go into closed session to discuss these matters. So, I'll be back. I'm not sure who set that up. I've got to talk with Jennifer.
I'll take the cap off.
Who knows?
He's probably smoking.
We lose him every time.
Oh, that's not fair.
Did he go outside?
Oh, guys, I think we're still live. So,
It's okay, this is the behind-the-scenes version.
Right.
council on water.
Not the first meeting.
Hey,
Let's get through the first quarter.
Okay, that's allowed then.
There we go. All right, we'll call the meeting back to order.
I'll do the certification. I move to certify that to the best of each of our knowledge, each council member, mayor, and the town attorney, only public business matters lawfully exempted from the open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened, was heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the public body.
Yes.
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Scarborough?
Yes.
Henry?
Aye.
Wise?
What about Weir? Aye.
That for fair?
Okay. Do we have some
All right.
motions?
Wish to adjourn?
Shush. I think council would like to entertain a resolution that I will make that council is pleased with the news of QBE agreeing to purchase Pace West from the Prince William County School Board, and we will be happy to work diligently with QBE and the Board of Supervisors to help them move forward with their development plans. Be that resolved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Next.
Like to make a resolution to instruct the town manager to communicate with our tenants of daytime playtime that we are aware of their request to terminate their lease early, and as a result of such, we will gladly work with them and provide assistance in advertising that space for lease in the hopes that we can facilitate a new tenant as quickly as possible. However, that does not mean the council is willing to allow them to break their lease early unless a new tenant is found.
Do we have a second?
Second.
No? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The next?
Make a resolution to instruct the town manager, along with the town attorney, to enter into lease negotiations with QBE upstairs in regards to the subleasing of space currently occupied by another tenant, and to, that's it.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Finally, I'd like to resolve that we instruct the town manager to notify the tenant the very thing that we will allow for lease abatement of up to 4 days due to the flooding of the town hall building that caused them to be out of the space while cleanup was going on. Cleanup was paid for by the town's insurance. However, we will summarily reject their claim made for lost sales, damaged merchandise, cleanup, etc., of costs that were not paid for by our town insurance policy.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to add that the reason we're not covering it is that they should have had their own insurance to cover that.
Yeah, I'll modify,
Thank you.
modify my motion to indicate the reason for us rejecting the claim is because their lease is worded to suggest that they should have such insurance on their own.
Will all leases
Okay.
be put in?
Rebecca?
The second still stands.
Okay, any further discussion?
I'd like to have something to help out the Boy Scout.
Oh, you're still on the motion.
We can bring it up to next meeting is what I was.
We're not there yet.
You got to vote on this?
I've already got it.
Oh, you got that
I've already got
already?
it in my time.
All right, that's what I was doing.
So no further discussion?
On that note.
Roll call vote, please.
Bacon?
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
Harness?
Yes.
Scarborough?
Yes.
Kenworthy?
Aye.
Tobias?
Okay.
Like to make a resolution to instruct the town manager to work with the town attorney to verify proper rental insurance is in place for all of the town tenants, and to communicate appropriately with the tenants as to any kind of updates or changes to policies that she would recommend.
Second.
Okay, second. For discussion, couldn't that be just a directive, Lisa?
It's a resolution to direct Jean to talk with the town, because we're going to spend money by having her review this.
Any other
I would think
discussions?
Okay.
Roll call vote, Jim?
Bacon?
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Harness.
Yeah, we were going through this thing.
Yes.
I thought you were through, you were going. Yes.
And Class.
Yep.
Okay. I think that did it for our closed session. Council time? We'll start with Mr. Tobias.
As per Councilman Kenworthy's concern and the point of matter that was brought up during citizens' time by Mr. Gallagher, it's come to my attention that the Boy Scout troop is going to be, essentially they use the town hall on Tuesdays from what I understand, and they've been using the town hall every Tuesday since the beginning of the year. However, due to some miscommunication on both parties' part, they were not on the calendar and the schedule that the clerks maintain for July going forward. Therefore, back in June, when another group asked to use town hall on a certain night, they found that that would conflict with the Boy Scouts being able to use the town hall property one Tuesday per month. So I would just like to direct staff, be it the clerks and the manager, to try to work out some sort of arrangement with the Boy Scouts in town, specifically Troop 1882, on a more definitive agreement so that they, if they need to change their meeting dates going forward, they can change it and have it written in stone, so to speak, notwithstanding any conflict with town business.
Okay, any other comments?
Nope. Did you get the four motions? Could you can't read my chicken scratch? I'll give you my chicken scratch if you want.
Anybody have an objection with the directed?
No.
All right, Milt?
Yes, I thought I was getting ready to go to the council member time. Ditto everything Jay said. Other than that, I don't think I have anything other than the damage to our light poles.
Okay. Mary Lou?
I'd like to welcome all our new council members. And I'd like to thank Jen for posting the stuff about the storm, or Sherry, I don't know who posted it, from the governor, and the pictures they put up from the hospital house.
Very nice. Okay. Rebecca?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Kathy? All good? Steve?
Thank you for the warm welcome. Hopefully I'll be in a little better shape next time.
All right.
Motion adjourned?
Second.
Good fight.
Wait.
Well,
I have one request.
It's council member time. That's what you had your time.
You didn't take any action on the appropriation for Dively, but you asked me to have him do some more work, and I'm at a point.
How much money did you want?
I'd asked for 10.
Be it resolved that the council will approve up to $15,000 out of the streetscape funding line item for attorney costs representing to streetscape property acquisitions, specifically for Mr. Robert Dively. It is Robert, right?
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Aiken.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Harmon.
Yes.
Kenworthy. West.
Back to the original motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you. Nice and quick.
We got out before 10.
I know.
We're not at the door yet. Don't be so
Right.